Hello everyone, how are we all doing today? Right, today I wanted to have a look at the Pulse 22, the single coil version of the Pulse 24. The Pulse 24 I have here, I have it in gold. You see the size difference, but they're pretty much identical. First of all, have a quick look at the box, see what's the packaging, see what's on the inside, and then go from there. So that obviously this is the packaging you'll receive. Typical vandy vape packaging. You scratch and sniff this side. Your barcodes on the back. Your features: 22mm diameter, unique leak resistant tubular side direct airflow. I have to say I do love the airflow on these. I think they're fantastic. Bottom feed directly to side juice valves. Now when you this is a squonk tank. This is what you want for squonking. I love it. When you squeeze your squonk bottle, it comes up and spreads out straight onto your cotton. That is perfect, absolutely perfect every time. So there you go, there's the box. Let's have a look inside. Obviously this is where the RDA would be. You get a spare drip strip, if I can get it out. So just a black one, just plain black one. It comes pre-installed with an Ultim drip tip, and I do prefer them, now a lot nicer. Alright, you get your odds and sods and your spares. So you got this tri-tool from Vandy Vape. I love these little things. Got your big hex Allen key, small hex Allen key, and you got your Phillips head screwdriver. It comes with a solid 510 pin, 2 extra post screws. They are Phillips heads. The ones that are in it I do believe are Allen key. 510 drip tip adapter, spare O-ring, which are always handy. Underneath that you get a user guide. You've all seen these. Gives you a breakdown of it, shows you how to install your coil, which is always quite nice. Squonking, tells you how the squonking works. Now you can see that, but you see this picture here, it goes either side. I don't squirt out the middle, it goes either side. Actually pushes the juice into where the cotton will be. I will show you that in a minute. And the airflow, obviously straight down onto the coil, it goes around the coil, goes straight up, and the airflow on this is lovely and smooth. And then obviously you get your different languages. Made in China, attention. That's it all the way through there. So that's what you get in the packaging, nice and simple. Nothing too wild, nothing too mad. Obviously, it's a Tony B project. Big shout out to Tony B, the Vapor Trail channel. Check him out. He's been working closely with Vandy Vape lately. He's got the Pulse 80 watt regulated mod coming out, and I will be buying one of them. They look amazing. Obviously, you got the mechanical Pulse, and these are the sort of the matching tanks from the Pulse 22 and the 24. Squonk wise, on a single battery squonk, the 22 is perfect. On a dual battery squonker or a 21700 squonker, something like that, the Pulse 24 is brilliant, because you can turn it up a bit more, you can build a little bit lower, you know, so it's usually a bit better. Well, like I say, I've got this. I'm running the 2700 batteries on the Idle Capo squonker. I like this because it's regulated. Don't get me wrong, I've got mechanical mods and they hit. You know what I mean? Everyone says, oh, they hit. Yeah, I know they do hit better, but I've got a little boy, and I'm sure a lot of you have got kids, and this is safer. That's all it comes down to. This is safer. So yeah, that's what you get in the packaging. So I've been using this. I wanted to make sure I liked it. I wanted to find out any cons with it or anything bad that I don't like about it. But I could honestly say nothing. I haven't found a single problem. Well, one problem with this I found. I didn't really find it con because it was an easy fix. When you pull this off, it's very tight. These O-rings, there's one there, and there's usually one at the bottom as well. With both O-rings, I couldn't get this to sit flush. They are very tight. I even tried juicing them up to try and help it along, and it's very tight. So what I've ended up doing is taking the bottom O-ring off, keeping the top one, give it a wiggle, and she goes on perfect. And it still doesn't leak or anything like that. You can probably see a little bit of liquid there, but I've over squonked it. That's my own fault. So there you go. We pull these bits apart. Even the O-rings on here are quite tight, but that's not an issue. So there's your airflow. As you can see, it shoots straight down. Lovely, big, smooth airflow. It's a bit more restrictive than on the 24. You can feel the restrictiveness, but it's not an issue. It's really not. I've been vaping at 80 watts at some points today, and still no issue. It's not been too hot. I quite like a cool vape. But on here, you've got Tiny B at the top and the Vandy vape logo at the bottom, or either side if you want to see it that way. Vandy vape logo that side, and Pulse there. This is the stainless steel version. They do other colours. They do gold, rainbow and black, I believe. I've got the gold 24, it looks lovely. And then this is the top cap, chuff cap, maybe you want to call it. Your airflow holes sit lovely. Like I say, ultimate drip tip. I like these. Just be nice if you get different, like if say instead of a black coming with a spare black drip tip, like standard drip tip, it come with like a coloured version of this, or like one of the honeycomb ones, or one of the fancier looking ones. These are lovely. They don't get hot on your lips or anything like that, but it'd just be nice to change it up, because I know like the things like the Dead Rabbit now come with coloured drip tips or acrylic ones and stuff like that. It's just a thought to put out there, as always. So there's that. Right, now I'm vaping on today. Cashed in an older loyalty card I had laying around, and went down to There's No Place Like Home in Cosham, and got myself some Cloud Vapors cola. I've been looking for a high-vis cola everywhere. That when I started vaping, I had a pen and I had a cola, and it was lovely and I loved it. This tastes exactly the same as the old 50/50 cola, but it's so much smoother. They give you a nick bottle, you got to mix it yourself. They tell you how much to put in, they're pretty good. I know anyway, but it's a 70/30 zero nicotine mix, and you put your nicotine in the car or when you get home. So let's dive down a bit deeper. Let's have a good look at this then. So you see, I've got a coil in there. She's nicely wicked up. I am going to pull this coil out. And I'm going to put a little flat wire build in, just to change it up a bit. I did try this video last night. I was a little bit tired, and everything just started going wrong. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to come in and refilm it tonight. Fresh faced and bushy tailed. So there we go. As I said, it's a small hanky in there. One side obviously has got an insulator on it, so that's your positive, and the other side's your negative, and vice versa. No problem. This on there, you got kink it round so you can get this one undone. Saves having to take the battery out. Alright, you unscrew that cap and blah blah. It goes on from there. I do actually have to change the battery in this. See in there, your hex screws, the Allen key screws. So that one's got the insulator on it. So I slide you around here quick. Little projects I've been working on. Some vape stands, as you can see. Look at that, gorgeous. With the hashtag latest vapors on the back. The juice is in the way of it, but I do need to tidy it up, organise it a bit better. But it's made my station or my work area a lot cleaner, a lot tidier. But if we pull this coil out, nice and simple, straight out, no issues. As always, I'm using the trusty blue roll to keep everything tidy, keep the juice off the side. Yes, there's my next video, the mesh RDA. Have a good look at that next. Managed to get it in rainbow. Bring the camera back. Right, I found my wire. It's there. Got my wire cutters. See, I love this no-chrome flat wire, I have to admit. 22 gauge, 2 coils, usually give you, at 5 wraps, brings that out at 0.1. So if I do this, 5 wraps should give me 0.2, which is plenty safe enough for a 2700 battery. So like I say, it's regulated anyway, but still, should always build your battery's limits. Know your battery limits, know what's good, know what's bad. So, but I'm going to be doing it on a 3mm bit, as per usual. If you've seen my other videos, you've seen how I like to build. Flick that over. Got plenty of wire, gone a bit too much, but pull it tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just for luck. And I always like my coils a little bit spaced. I don't like them still heated up afterwards. So what I'll do, oh, a bit of paint on my finger there. What I always tend to do is just hair. Yeah, the joys of having dogs, unfortunately. There we go. And I get it with my nail, I pull it out, space it, spring it back down, like so, and there you have a perfectly spaced coil. Every time. That never fails me, that don't. Obviously if you put it too hard, you just pull the whole thing off the jig. I'll put it back on, straighten that leg back out, give it a spring down this side, and there you have it. Perfectly spaced, there's nothing too close, it's all the same gap difference. Lovely. That's how I like my coils. Whether I'm using the Coilology coils, I space them out a little bit as well. That's what, if I can get it back off the blue roll. This one, you can see I've spaced that out. That's a Coilology Fuse Clapton NI80. That's my favourite, that's my go-to wire. I think the flavour's really good and they last really well. So with this, the same as a Pulse 24, you need quite a decent length on your legs. So you're looking about there. Chop that off. Match it the other side. There's that. And you've got your coil. And you just drop it in. That. Almost perfect. So I've done a few builds on this. A little bit of paint on my finger. That'll be from building that today. With the help of my lovely wife. They are for sale. If you want to know, PM for prices. We do different tiers, different sizes. We can have them wider, taller, longer, girly, manly. I've got mine Nardo grey and gold to match the latest Vapor sign at the back. Look at that. Yeah, it's not the coil. The actual coil itself don't look the flattest, but that's never an issue. So right, if we tighten this down, then I'll find my little tri tool. It's all over there. Straight in. Bish bash bosh. Tighten her up. Lovely. Come this side. Do exactly the same. Bash, 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 nice and tight. And I'll stick that now and screw the tank back on. Let's get my fingers covered in juice. And everything gets all slippery. So there's that. Right, I'm going to do this before I put any cotton in. But I'll only do it once. But you see, just if I get my tweezers, I'll be able to show you a bit better. When it comes to swanking, you've got a hole there and one exactly the other side there. What it does is when you squonk, it comes up to here, and it will spread evenly. Some this side, some that side, and it does perfectly distribute it. And I don't want to. You see it already coming out. You see it's coming out of either side there. Try and do it so I don't squirt too much out. So that side. There you go, there's a bubble. That perfectly distributed. That is what I love about this pulse. You can squonk it, and you can really squonk it, and it's so hard to over squonk. One, because of the airflow, and two, because it's just awesome. What we're reading, right, we're at 0.24. I'll turn it down a bit. Obviously I had a Clapton coil in there, she was up a bit. Give her a pulse. So that should look like, yeah, battery's alright. A bit lively there. Boom. Perfect. Because it's slightly spaced from the beginning. Look at the colour that goes as well. A lovely shade of blue and purple and green and gold, and but there's no hot spots, nothing. You think that's it? 33.5 watts. She's firing up like that. Cool it down before you try wicking it up, because otherwise you just burn your cotton before you even started. Cotton wise, I am going to be using the fuzz from the Ultra Vapor. Been absolutely loving this stuff. You can ram it. Like me and the wife both use a coiling daily, and it got to the point where we're both ramming cotton in both of them and still having to turn the juice control down. This thing just sucks up the juice, this stuff does. So grab me a pair of scissors, make sure they're clean. Put a bit of cotton off. Give it a snip. You get, with this cotton, you get about a yard. That's what it says on the tin. About a yard of cotton. Yeah, there's plenty in there. There's plenty in there. This is what it's like. I'm going to show you quick, just how fluffy and springy and soft that is. It's unreal. Right, so thin it out for a 3mm coil. I should do it. Give it a little caress to bring it down to how I want it. Just the end, as always, and it's easier to guide it through the hole. See, you want it tight enough where you can pull the mod out, but not so tight that you're yanking the coil either side. You don't want that at all. Get your scissors, give her a chop. Maybe knock the camera off the side. Push that down a bit, might be a bit better. And then just literally grab your cotton, bring it round to the side, and poke it in the juice well there. Lovely deep juice wells these. You get one either side. And what I like to do is see that juice flow there now. It's nice and clear. So when I squonk it, comes straight out. Don't have to try and squonk it past the cotton or anything like that. But they do. They literally guide straight out. Same as that side. Boom. See how, and it's so free flowing as well. It's so. And that's it, and it's squonked, And I mean, you can squonk and squonk and squonk this thing. Get some on the cotton there. That soon get soaked up. Right, if I get some on the Cloud Vapors Cola tonight. I needed some flat wire, and I had an old loyalty card that was filled up that I needed to use for ages. See the cola. Oh, I said, is that the same as the old cola? I said, yeah, it tastes exactly the same. I've tried it, and I tell you what, it is lovely. I'll give him that one. I am a big Fog Makers fan. My daily vapes are custard cream from Fog Makers. It's the best custard cream I've ever tried. I've tried the Cloud Vapors one. I've tried other ones, and they just, I don't know, they just seem a bit bland. Or you get them and then they need extra steeping. Whereas the boys at Fog Makers, you can vape it straight away. It's all well steeped. It's all steeped properly. So there we go. There's that. It's all juiced up. Plenty of juice in there. Probably see I've made a mess. Juice everywhere. But that's just how I roll. You see, as well, I didn't show you. There and there's two little grooves. You want to line your coil up with them. I did it without even thinking, really. If you line your coil up with them, your airflow is going to fit perfectly, because what they do, they're two little grooves, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it. I'll try and get a good image of it for you. But where are they? See, just in there, there's two. It's a little notch, and that little notch drops into there and stops this. So yeah, little notches there, and they sit in these little grooves and stop this bottom cap from spinning. And it's nice because you can pull your tank off if you've got one of them refill bottles where you put it down through the 510. It's ideal for getting your tank off quick, filling it, and then putting your tank back on. You can tighten it, and this ain't just going to keep spinning on you. And the nice thing is, because of the way the airflow is, you'll see when I put it on. I'll put it on now for you. You see what I mean about the O-rings? They are tight as anything. You've got to get it just right. There it goes. That's dropped straight in. That's it. Won't spin any more that side. Won't spin any more that side. And then that's straight onto the coil. Always like to do is once I've got that on, I'll make sure there's no cotton in the way. So you're getting straight onto the coil. The coil could have been a little bit straighter, but that's going to do the job perfectly. Give it a little pulse. A tornado coming out there. Oh, it smells so good, that juice. But and that's it. And when you've got this top cap on, you can squonk, boom, and you know that's a big squonk. I'm filling that thing up. That ain't leaking. Ain't leaking at all. And then your top cap, nice thing is your top cap, you put your top cap on, you know that bottom half's not going to move anywhere, so you can adjust your airflow to exactly however you want it. It's not overly noisy, the airflow. It's not too restrictive. I think restrictiveness, I think it's perfect. I think they've proper nailed this airflow. And if you've got a little coil in there, or a high ohm coil that's running low wattages, you can turn it down to one airflow, and it's perfect. You can, well, you see this, but you go half and half, but sort of after that you can see there that you're starting to go over the other airflow. So you got one. Always try and go half and half, because you're still getting all the airflow to the right parts of the coil. But in all fairness, mine's usually wide open. But there we have it. Now I've put juice everywhere and got juice all over my fingers and everything else. That is the Pulse 22. I absolutely love it. I'm going to have to try and get some more single coil RDAs because I'm really enjoying them at the moment, especially with a nice Clapton in there. They're just absolutely fantastic. This is 33.5 watts. Clouds for absolute days, and that's at 33.5 watts at 0.24 of an ohm. You know, you probably go up to 40. Let's be 40 watts. I'll blow it over the top of the camera because that's just a bit ridiculous. 40 watts, you wouldn't want to go, wouldn't need to go any higher than that. The flavour from it's incredible. It really is. It's one of them that it will leave the flavour in your mouth, especially with this juice. Hats off to these guys for this juice. It's really nice. I am looking for the lid for the juice, which I've put down somewhere and I can't find. There it is. Before I knock it over, like I knocked the camera over a minute ago, which is always helpful. Been trying to film a video. Stick that back in there, and that's it. So that's it from me, everyone. Latest vapors.